This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Hi, and welcome to Business, Equity, and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sandert. It is the last Sunday in March, so the end of the first quarter of 2024. If you're a business owner, we hope it's been a good start to your business year. We created the show for entrepreneurs, small business owners who are looking for tools and inspiration to carve out their own success. We take our cameras out on location every week to meet and learn from business owners, resource providers, industry leaders, and others to gather advice and direction to help you on your business journey. For content, our focus is always on diversity, equity, and opportunities in the business community. Each week we feature 7 segments covering important topics that are critical to starting and running a successful small business. We cover stories relating to getting your business started, accessing necessary capital, dealing with accounting and bookkeeping, running your business day to day. We highlight current business events as well. We look at various industries operating in Indiana, and we meet the people behind a local success story for a little inspiration. Here's what's ahead this hour on Business, Equity, and Opportunities. We continue our nod to Women's History Month by featuring several successful female business owners. Find out how you can be part of the next PitchFeast. Our industry focus looks at the local side of the RV business, and we draw our inspiration from the driving force behind More Magazine. Kerry Sawyer is an entrepreneur who saw potential in a business that combined fun and profitability. Now this enterprising owner of Painting with a Twist has been named Franchisee of the Year by the International Franchise Association.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Getting started.
My name is Kerry Sawyer. I am the franchisee owner of Painting with a Twist, and we're at the Carmel location. I used to own 45 hair cuttery franchisees in 4 different states. We were located in Indiana, Ohio, Maryland, and Virginia, so definitely been very busy. After COVID and after many years of being in that business, I wanted to do something different and have a change, something that made a difference in people's lives and that made people happy. Painting with a Twist was the perfect choice for me. So right now I own the Carmel location, and I purchased the Lafayette location last year, and we are in the process of opening a Greenwood location, hopefully by October 1st. So that will be our 3rd location, and I'm sure there'll be more in the future. Painting with a Twist does so much for whether you're a child or you're an adult, elderly people. You come in, you leave everything at the door, you paint, it takes all your worries away. We also do other things like DIY candles, we do linen spray, you can do wine glasses, you can paint on different surfaces as well. But the one thing I love about what we do is when you come in, you're expecting, I don't think I'm going to be able to paint this portrait. When the artist gets on stage and they just instruct you step by step, and people leave going, I cannot believe I actually just painted this painting. It's so awesome to see people so enjoy themselves and so happy. What I love about it is what it does for mental health. So I sit back and I watch people painting, whether they've had a bad day at work or couples arguing or whatnot, or children just like yelling at their parents. They come in, they start painting, and you can see them totally transform in front of us. And that's why I think our artists love it. People just enjoy it here. Painting with a Twist does team building events. We can go to your location or you can come on site to our location. But yeah, so team building events, they pick the painting, they come in, music's playing, all the team is together, we do fun games, and they leave with the painting that they created together. You have to have passion for what you love to do. You know, if you have passion for what you're doing, then it kind of all goes together. Like, I love being here. I was her #1 client before I owned this location. And that's super important. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, then it's really hard to grow even as an individual, but your business as well. I was chosen the International Franchise Association 2023 Franchisee of the Year, which is a huge award and a huge honor. And yes, you're exactly right. Like, for small businesses, especially in Indiana, like, we do everything that we can to grow and to stay positive, but we are an experience. So when you come in, you're not just coming into painting, you're actually getting an experience. Now people can come into the studio and they can just pop in and paint. It's kind of like a DIY experience. So they come into the studio, they pick their painting, and then we set them all up and they can paint with their friends, their kids, or whatever. That's super exciting. We also have Twist at Home kits. So our Twist at Home kits, you come in, you pick up your kit. When you go home, you watch the video of an artist on stage instructing you step by step. So you can twist at home. I always wanted to make people happy the next half of my life, and I know that we are doing that here.
Our congratulations to Kerry and all the women who are finding success by owning businesses in our state. If you have a business story you'd like to share, send us an email, beo@wishtv.com. Tell us all about it. Coming up this hour, how you can compete for some working capital for your next big thing. Our access to capital is next.
Swing into savings with the Wish TV Great Golf Club card.
Each card gets you a round of golf at 23 premier Central Indiana courses. Save over 75% off regular rates for the 2024 golf season. Visit wishtv.com/sports to get your Great Golf Club membership. Brought to you by Circulus Digital Media.
Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. More than $50,000 in investment capital is on the line in the PitchFeast business competition for entrepreneurs of color. PitchFeast founder Kendrea Williams gives us the details.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. Access to capital.
As a business owner, I just really wanted to understand, what would it take for me to start a business here, right? And so just venturing off and visiting different entities, trying to understand the resources they provided, and then getting, frustrated with some of the resources that I found, I just realized that there was a gap, right? And there was a gap when it came to serving Black and brown entrepreneurs. And, I just wanted to stand in that gap, hold their hand, help them move to that next level. Essentially, we form what it's called, it's PitchFeast right now. It's a community crowdfunding event where we support Black and brown entrepreneurs and help them get access to funding for their business. When we first started PitchFeast, we were essentially hosting a dinner and inviting the audience to come out and listen to the ideas of the entrepreneurs who were pitching, right? Now we have moved into a partnership with Impact Central Indiana, and we're able to align the entrepreneurs we work with additional resources that can really be impactful to their business. And so today, we're able to align $25,000 in investment dollars, opposed to the $200 or $300 we were given when we first started. Our greatest success story has to be the Rivoli Park project. And it was not a business entity, it was a community idea in a community that had a bridge that basically had graffiti and blight. And the neighborhood wanted to get rid of this blight. And so collectively, they went to an artist and they asked the artist, can you paint over this mural? And the artist said, if you get the materials, I'll paint over the mural for you. And so they came, they actually pitched in PitchFeast for the materials. They just needed paint, right? They actually won $600. They were able to bring the artist in, he painted the mural, and today the mural is still there. And so for me, that type of impact, right, I couldn't give it up. I could not keep moving. So we do PitchFeast 2 times a year with our partnership with Impact Central Indiana, once in May and then in September. And again, like I said, we are aligning our entrepreneurs with impactful investment dollars. And so with these events that we have with Impact, our first place winner will receive $25,000 in investment money. Second place winner will get $15,000 in investment money, and then third place will get $10,000 in investment money. And we still have the audience favorite where they will receive $5,000 in investment money. One of our recent winners, she was able to actually take on new employees, right, which allowed her to take on new clients and just increase her revenue, I think, by 3 times the amount. We've had entrepreneurs, buy software, buy a van to deliver their product, right? Again, hire employees, so these investment dollars are really there for you to use inside of your business in any way to help you grow. Applications are open for May. That closes on April 5th. We will announce who the finalists are on April 19th, and hopefully they'll join us on May 20th for the event. Any Black and brown entrepreneur that resides in Central Indiana should apply, first of all. If you are early on in your business, right, and you just need some support, if you need to hire some staff, right, some software, whatever you need to take that business to the next level, please apply to Pitch and PitchFeast. We are very industry agnostic. That means we are not focused on a particular industry or sector. And then our investment partners are so friendly when it comes to the investment dollars that they are providing to the Black and brown entrepreneurs. I mean, it's absolutely a support of mechanism of support for them. Some of the best things I see is when I see two of my PitchFeast winners working together on a project. And so there is so much collaboration going on because you got to remember these are peers, right? They're peers once they come through PitchFeast. And so they collaborate, they work together, they go out, they spend time together. PitchFeast, we have really been able to create a family with our alumni here. And so, yeah, we're able to see a lot of collaboration between our PitchFeast winners. The energy at PitchFeast is always, everyone wins at PitchFeast, right? So if you don't win on stage, you're still gonna win a connection in a room. You might pick up a partnership. You might find a donor or a sponsor. You know, there are so many possibilities of just moving your business forward outside of just pitching when you come to PitchFeast. I just encourage you to go ahead and apply because, you know, the world could be missing out on just a really great business opportunity, and we can't let fear continue to hold us back.
The application deadline for this year's PitchFeast in the capital that's available is April 5th. We'll have a link on our website, beoshow.com. Coming up next, a salute to the 25th anniversary of the Asian American Alliance. Stay right here.
Every business is unique, and every business has a target audience. Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble to reach a customer base that spans the globe. Pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. No matter the size of your business, put Circulus Digital Media to work for you and get results. This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome again to Business Equity and Opportunities. The Asian American Alliance is celebrating its 25th anniversary with a gala this Saturday. Rupal Thanawala is the president of the Alliance. She explains the makeup of the vibrant Asian American community in Indiana and how it contributes to the state's growing economy.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. This Week in Business.
Asia has more than 48 countries, and we also include Pacific Islanders and Hawaiians. We have a very high population of Indians, Chinese, Burmese in Indiana. But we have, I believe that all the 48 countries are in Indiana. Someone from those 48 countries are part of our community. We have a huge contingent of students. We believe that over 25,000 foreign students come to Indiana for studies, and most of them are Asians. Over the period of time, over a century, Asian Americans have come here as students, business leaders, or just to unite with their families. We all have brought our unique talents, culture. We have brought with us our arts, musical skills, and much more. So we have different individuals who have contributed in this community tremendously. And I think that is the benefit that we have in this community. We have business leaders, students, community leaders, and we all are really looking forward that how do we build a community which is truly integrated as Hoosiers. In 1999, when a group of Asian American leaders started this organization to have a community, an alliance where all the Asian Americans can come together to build a future of Asian Americans who have called Indiana their home. Asian American Alliance's mission is to empower and encourage Asian Americans to lead and serve in business and community. Asian American Alliance is an umbrella organization of over 150 other organizations and 300 plus ethnic restaurants that we feel are part of this big alliance. Multiple student organizations, whether it's IU, Purdue, Ball State, they all have their own Asian American student organizations. Just to give an example, Eli Lilly and Company has probably 5 to 6 Asian American focused organizations. Within them, what they call it ERGs. And last but not the least, we have businesses, which is people connect with food. One of the things that Asian American Alliance is very intentional about welcoming new Asian Americans. Very recently, we welcomed over 7,200 Afghan refugees in Indiana. Indiana Asian community has been growing, and how can we first celebrate Happy Month, which is month of May, but then also use this event to educate Hoosiers about what is Asian Americans, but then welcome them to experience Asia without getting on a plane. We have probably around 3,000 people coming to Asian Fest who can experience the arts, culture, music, and the food at Asian Fest. You do not want your whole garden to have just yellow flowers or pink flowers or red flowers. When your garden has those multiple colorful flowers, it looks so beautiful. So we are part of the fabric of Indiana. We are Americans. We are not outsiders. We are Asians who are proud of our culture. We have been contributing to this community, and we are part of this community. We are all here as one.
This Week in Business is made possible by InnoPower.
When we come back, Courtney Kincaid has tips on how you can protect yourself, your clients, and your business against fraud. And later, we turn our focus on the RV industry. Ahead on Business Equity and Opportunities.
This is a multicultural program, so it's a time for people from all different areas in life to come together and learn.
Giving people that opportunity with a different voice from different demographics is very inspirational to see.
And it's just been so amazing, so informative, lots of new information to be able to see how the news is created behind the scenes.
I have only imagined that I would be in a program like this, learning how to put different TV program levels together, but I don't have to imagine anymore.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Last week, we spoke with Courtney Kincaid, President and CEO of the Indiana CPA Society, about new forms of fraud in the business world. This week, we continue the conversation, discussing some of the surprising ways scammers gather your information.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities, Accounting and Bookkeeping.
Another thing that your CPA might talk to you about is just, and it seems simple, but I'm even guilty of it myself, is watch what you put out on social media. Scammers are really, really good at gleaning information and then thinking about ways to use that to commit fraud against you, for example. We had a really great example when I was promoted to CEO of the organization. Of course, it's in a press release, it's on our website. We started getting questions to HR from me because people realized that there was a change and took that as an opportunity. And this happens a lot of just where you are, what you're doing, and making sure that that can't be used. Or if you're sharing that kind of information, just knowing that that information is out there, and so someone who might be parroting that back to you might not necessarily be that individual. It's really great to look at that email address. Usually they can make it look pretty close to your email address, but it's not actually the same. So taking that extra step, which is really a method of phishing, and it's gotten really a lot more sophisticated as AI has come into it. Being able to model language, so as you post things, you're sharing your voice, and they're able, and there's your audio of your voice, but also how you speak. And there's a lot of technology spun up around that of imitating what you sound like, imitating ways in which you speak. And so you just really do have to be careful that you are actually talking to that individual or getting that message from that individual. We've had some scary examples, both from phone calls are more common right now because you don't see the person. And so what we kind of recommend is if you get a phone call from a number that you don't recognize, that you go ahead and, say, no, I'm not going to answer this. Listen for the voicemail, and then do your due diligence in following up versus answering and doing what they say, because they are very, very convincing. I would also add most financial institutions or organizations or people who help you are not going to call blindly and ask for your account number. They're not going to ask for your social security number. There are methods that they use that are much more secure in seeking that information. So they might send you to their portal, right, which is a trusted website. So make sure that you're covering that information with anyone you're sharing financial information with. It's just not really good practice to share that information over the phone or even on forms that you're faxing. As we talk about all of these cybersecurity related issues and knowing that new ones will pop up with AI, very convincing scams, you might wonder, what is my CPA going to do to help me? But the truth is, your CPA, especially when it comes to important financial information, can provide a lot of guidance and help in assessing where you are on the cybersecurity spectrum and giving you some ideas on how you might make your information more secure. Yeah, so it can be really hard when, you've been scammed is there are a lot of different ways that you can be scammed. Is someone looking to just wipe your account and take your money? Is someone looking to take your identity? And so what you do as a result afterwards is kind of different depending on the scenario. But it's always good practice to immediately notify your financial institutions, to notify your CPA, to change your passwords, and make sure that you're doing your due diligence to make sure that you're putting all of those stop points in place.
Up next, running your business day to day on Business Equity and Opportunity.
Swinging the savings with the Wish TV Great Golf Club card. We've even added an interactive map at wishtv.com and the Wish TV app for easy navigation to each course.
Each card gets you a round of golf at 23 premier Central Indiana courses. Save over 75% off regular rates for the 2024 golf season.
Don't miss out on the ultimate golfing experience. Join the Great Golf Club today.
Visit wishtv.com/sports to get your Great Golf Club membership. Great Golf Club Card 2024 is brought to you by Circulus Digital Media. This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities. Tamara Winfrey Harris is president of the Women's Fund of Central Indiana and a national thought leader on issues of gender and race.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Running your business day to day.
I am Tamara Winfrey Harris, and I am the president of Women's Fund of Central Indiana. So Women's Fund is almost 30 years old. We were started in 1996 by Dr. Diane Brashear and a bunch of founding mothers, and we convene, invest, and advocate so that everyone who identifies as a woman or girl in Central Indiana has equitable access to opportunity to reach their full potential, no matter their place, race, or identity. And one of the ways we do that is through grant making. We have awarded more than $10 million in grants over our history. Oh, there was plenty of serendipity in my career path, which I think is great. So my background is in journalism. I spent some time working on a copy desk as at a newspaper. And then I went into consumer marketing and PR, so worked for lots of agencies and had clients like McDonald's Corporation and Georgia Pacific and Quaker Oats. And then I started doing that for not-for-profits. Got to work for the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago and here in Indianapolis at the Idle George Museum before coming to Central Indiana Community Foundation. But along that whole time, I was also a writer, and I focused on areas of race and gender, and so was able to get published and was able to speak nationally. And so I kind of had a 9 to 5 and a 5 to 9. And my 5 to 9 was really focusing on women and girls and their experiences. So when an opportunity arose at the Women's Fund, it seemed like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to bring together my communications, my philanthropy skills with my love of women and girls. I think women have always been supportive of each other. I think there's been more recognition of the importance of women's spaces and the importance of supporting women in doing that support and doing that work. And so I think we have learned a lot. I mean, think of it, it was women working together that got us the vote in 1920. So we've been working together for a long, long time. But I think more organizations are realizing the importance of empowering us to do what we do best. So I always say the first thing anyone needs to do is actually listen to women. And that's actually what we did last year. Last year we did the most extensive community listening and landscape analysis and organizational assessment in our history. And women told us that number one, far and away, they were concerned about health. And underneath health, they said their access to reproductive health care, our infant and maternal mortality rates, which are very bad here in Indiana, and mental health with a specific focus on girls. Because if you've looked at the numbers coming out of the height of the COVID epidemic, girls are struggling. They also said economic mobility. They're concerned about being able to support themselves and their families. Career development, which kind of ties to economic mobility, and their personal safety and intimate partner violence. But one, I will say, there are lots of not-for-profits that are working in those spaces. And I also think we need to do a little bit more identifying of the problem. You know, one of the things that Women's Fund is doing this year is we're working with the Polis Center on a State of Women report. So we can define exactly what the experience of women is in Central Indiana. And that's all women, because we all know our intersecting identities can impact us. And I think at the end of this year, between that report and the Girl Report, which was done by the Girl Scouts and Girl Coalition, we'll have an unprecedented look at what it means to be a woman and a girl in Central Indiana. So we're going to make sure, actually we're working together. I just met with Girl Scouts and Girl Coalition last week to talk about how we can both make those reports widely available, because I think it will be important not just for women and girls serving organizations, but for anyone who makes decisions about women and girls. I think it's important for your viewers to know that women and girls specific issues get less than 2% of all U.S. philanthropic giving. We are more than half of the population, so less than 2%, and women and girls of color get less than 1%. And so that means that a lot of the people who are working to solve our most critical issues are unsupported and under-resourced. So I hope, as we're wrapping up Women's History Month, that people who are watching will consider the support that women and girls serving organizations need. And I think that's why intersection is so important when you're talking about doing the work of women and girls, because it really isn't enough to just say, woman, we're doing things for women, because, you know, the ways that sexism impact us depends. You know, rural women tend to have children younger. You know, there are food deserts, you know, both in urban areas and rural areas. There are problems that are specific to older women. Even if you look at the wage gap, you know, women, I believe in Indiana, it's 72% for every dollar that a white man makes, but trans women make like 60 cents on the dollar. Native women make 51 cents on the dollar. So it's very important that when we talk about women and girls, that we think about how their other identities and other things actually impact their experiences. I mean, there is something to me that's so inspiring about being in the company of women. It just is. And since I took this job about a year ago, the amazing women that I've met, you know, whether they are grantees or the people our grantees service or my board members or our options alumna, is just it reminds me every day how amazing we are and how amazing we can be when we're fully supported.
Running your business day to day is made possible by Circulus Digital Media.
Next, we meet a local RV dealer who's found a way to turn his love of RVs into an innovation business. We'll meet him in our Industry Focus. You're watching Business Equity and Opportunity.
This is a multicultural program, so it's a time for people from all different areas in life to come together and learn.
Giving people that opportunity with a different voice from different demographics is very inspirational to see.
And it's just been so amazing, so informative, lots of new information to be able to see how the news is created behind the scenes.
I have only imagined that I would be in a program like this, learning how to put different TV program levels together, but I don't have to imagine anymore.
Welcome again to Business Equity and Opportunities. Northern Indiana is known for being the RV capital of the world. The industry dates back to the 1930s. When you see an RV on the road or at a local dealership, odds are it was built in Indiana. Keith Dix is the owner of Touchdown RV in Zionsville. He fell in love with the freedom and adventure that recreational vehicles offer. So 10 years ago, he opened his business offering top-tier RV rentals, though, as we found out, some of his rental customers are so happy they end up buying them.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Industry Focus.
Touchdown RV is a full service dealership, but our main focus is on RV rentals. It's going good. It's good. Very seasonal business, so we probably run maybe 6 or 7 months out of the year, and then the RVs sit the rest of the time. But that's where we kind of introduce some more areas where we're doing service, we're doing some sales, and we're also doing parts as well. I've always been intrigued with RVs. So actually I went to Purdue and I have an IT background. So getting into RVs is a 180 from doing the IT work. But I've always been intrigued with RVs. I would see them going down the road and I wonder where they're going. So actually my brothers and I actually bought an RV. So I always say, just like anything, you get excited about something and then it starts sitting and rotting away. So we actually went through that twice. And then that second time we sold it, we tried to rent one and we couldn't find one to rent. So that was kind of some indirect market research there. So there's some more pieces of power out there for the rental industry. So ended up buying an RV, put up a website and waiting on my first customer. We had a tremendous business. We had record years during COVID because this was your little bubble and you can get away from everything. So it did slow down a little bit, but now we're starting to see people, instead of having to go to the airport and having a strict schedule and regimen, now you can come and get an RV, be able to control your schedule and be able to enjoy. I always say we have what we call a destination disease. We're always looking to get to destination, but I think an RV really allows you to enjoy the journey. Yeah, so I think our customer persona is typical, family with 2 kids and a dog. You don't have to board your dog. When you come in the RV, you can bring your dog with you. But yep, the people is looking for vacations. We have people who go on guys trips, a lot of tailgating. People always ask me about Touchdown RV. Does it have anything to do with sports? So it does a little bit, but I always say it's kind of a play on words. It's kind of like when you get to your destination, you kind of touch down. So that's kind of how we kind of came up with the name. So a lot of different people, you can use RVs for a lot of different things. We have a lot of concerts coming up this year. We're fortunate to be able to provide RVs to different concert artists for green rooms and things like that. We've had wedding parties use an RV, have an outdoor wedding. So a lot of different uses for the RV. Yeah, I think really, I think for my business, and it's kind of built in, I think people experience this, is really the volatility of the business. So again, we're cold. We have some RV owners in Florida and warm weather, they kind of go all year long. But really just the volatility of the business, where it's seasonal, it gets slow, it gets cold. Of course, no one's taking RVs during the slow season, but really being able to manage your cash flow, manage your finances during those slow season until you get to the busy season again. So it's very important to be able to do that. So the number one question I get asked is there a special license required? So no, there's no special license required to do the to drive a RV. I always say that would kill the industry if you had people have to have a special license before you buy an RV. It's funny when people come and they say, what type of training do I give? I always tell them it's all courage. So, we definitely show them around, show them how to let the awning out, how to let the slide out. And I always joke and say, 99% of our accidents happen in gas stations. So I've had feedback where someone successfully went in and out of a gas station, went 20 miles down the road, and they were fine the rest of the trip. So we're never going to be here forever. So I would say this is a great way to build memories with their family. Even if you even want to buy RV, it's so interesting. I have a lot of conversations with people, and they always say, I tell them I have an RV rental business. They always say, I've always wanted to do that. So this is definitely, providing people a way to be able to experience, the RV trip. My family and I, we love to go RVing. I have a sophomore and an 8th grader, so we don't have too much longer. My wife and I don't have too much longer with them. So we definitely built a lot of memories, with doing trips. And so it's really about building memories. And also, if you want to buy an RV one day, it's a great way to try before you buy. Right now, we're a full dealership, kind of on a small scale. So we definitely, rentals is our main thing, but we definitely want to get into doing more sales. I always joke and say that we're a used car factory. We buy our units straight from the manufacturer, we rent them for a couple years, and then we sell them. And then we kind of rinse and repeat. So that's kind of the business model. So definitely want to expand our sales and definitely expand our service. So we want people to be able to stay become a customer in the RV industry. We had a customer rent from us, we had them buy, and then we also had what we call an owner management program. So someone can buy an RV, put it in our rental program, and do a revenue split. So we've had somebody go full circle a customer, so that was pretty nice to experience. I love RVing, so I want everybody to experience this at least once in their lifetime. So I think doing the rentals and be able to provide service and sales to people, that's really my passion, is be able just to share it. Hey, take this RV trip, build this memory with your family, and you'll be able to hold on to it forever.
If you'd like to find out more information about this or any of our industry-focused segments, visit our website. It's beoshow.com. Scan the QR code. It'll get you there straight away. When we return this hour, meet the inspiration behind a magazine that makes opportunities reachable for everyone.
Swing into savings with the Wish TV Great Golf Club card. We've even added an interactive map at wishtv.com and the Wish TV app for easy navigation to each course.
Each card gets you a round of golf at 23 premier Central Indiana courses. Save over 75% off regular rates for the 2024 golf season.
Don't miss out on the ultimate golfing experience. Join the Great Golf Club today.
Visit wishtv.com/sports to get your Great Golf Club membership. Great Golf Club Card 2024 is brought to you by Circulus Digital Media.
Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities and our success story. Ariana Cruz is the founder of More Magazine. She says she finds purpose and delight in connecting and inspiring people to be their most authentic selves.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities Success Story.
I'm Ariana Cruz. I'm the founder and owner of MORE, which stands for Making Opportunities Reachable for Everyone. Well, it's kind of funny because I never saw myself as an entrepreneur. I'm a very proud Kelly alum, and going through business school, I made my way through my finance classes, and business ownership felt like a very big, daunting adventure to take on. And as I got out of school and I was getting to work with more small businesses because I love small business, I love getting to support them. I'm in marketing, so I love getting to support them through marketing and other ways that I can help connect them. I felt like it didn't seem like as big or scary of a task to take on. And as I was volunteering and getting into the creative space, it became something that felt very achievable and reachable for myself. And as we were putting together our first issue of MORE, it made sense to turn it into a business because of what people were asking for, especially with the hard copies and just the way we were beginning to operate. MORE Magazine was created with a mission to make opportunities reachable for everyone. I strongly believe in meeting people where they are wherever they are in their journey. And so we curate content that is intended to educate, inspire, and call people to action. We share curated stories that come from a very personal place, because I think when we hear voices of other people that we can relate to in some way, we feel called to learn more or have other conversations about it to grow our own knowledge and our own understanding. Well, I feel like you're not supposed to have favorites, but I know our women's issue is always one that I look forward to. We started with issue 1, Celebrating Women, in October at the opposite end of Women's History Month, because I wanted to keep the conversation going. And so I'm always a little extra excited. Our last one was Women in Love. We've done Women and Culture. We had a Generations issue that came out, and I think that one was one of the most conversational. We had interviews with women with at least 10 years between them in every single article, and it opened a lot of doors. And we had, I believe, 3 interns write for that one, which was really exciting. We hadn't had interns write before that issue, and one of them, she talked a lot about her cultural identity with her mom. And we talked about the way food communicates culture and how you can connect on a deeper level, even if you can't speak the same language or have the same background in that. You can connect through food and how you make it your own each time you make it and you learn that new recipe and you share it with people that you love. I want to meet people where they are, and I don't want our content to ever exclude people in that way. If you look at our logo, it's the M and it's going in this direction, because I really wanted the magazine to be something where, as you are growing your knowledge, as you're having these deeper conversations, that we can grow together side by side. I think that that's something that's really key to who we are and what we do. And so no matter who you are, I want you to be able to take something away from the stories that we share. I've learned, because we try to meet people where they are, that people are on a lot of different places on their journey. And so offering more context is something that I think we strive to do. We have a pretty strong social media, and so on our social, we work really hard to share the articles that we are publishing, as well as using that as a platform to educate. And so we highlight a lot of different days throughout the year. It's Women's History Month right now. It will be Asian Pacific Islander Month in May, and so we work really hard to highlight not only people who are connected to those months, but like why that month is celebrated and like what it means. And so I think as a business owner, I've learned that if you are working to be somebody who is meeting people where they are, that sometimes you have to offer context to make sure they're near the same page you are as they're on their journey. We started as a digital magazine. I had no intention to print until year 3. We are in year 4 and we've printed enough each year for it. It's something so special about having a tangible piece where you know that your story continues to live on, you can feel it, you can share it with somebody. But as we were only publishing 2 issues a year, there were so many stories that we wanted to have the opportunity to tell. And so we started a Founder to Founder series where I interview female founders in a variety of industries. And that opened the door to us starting a podcast. And so we've added these different components to have more of an opportunity to share more stories throughout the year. And the podcast started originally because we wanted our articles to be able to be listened to rather than only read, because from an accessibility standpoint, that just made sense. And we've gotten to expand on that by interviewing the contributors for each of the articles, whether it's the stylists or the photographers or the authors and anyone who's involved, so that we can have their voices alongside their stories to go in depth about what they're saying. We launched an internship program in our first summer of business. And that was honestly because social media is such a big part of businesses now, and marketing especially. And we were connecting with a lot of people who were on social media. It made sense to build that up. And when we were building out the internship program, I was thinking about, a little selfishly, what had I wished had been there when I was in school? And so we built our internship program to prioritize first-year students who mostly have never had an internship before. And we work to be a stepping stone for them. And as they come on, they get to have this baseline of social media marketing, which a lot of people are interested in right now. But from there, they get to build it into their own internship. So we've had some girls who are interested in press, and so they get to do PR and do press releases. We've had some who are interested in email marketing and segmenting, and so they get to dive further into that. And it's been really incredible because it's not somewhere I thought we would grow first or even in the first few years, but it's now a pillar of our business. We've served over 22 women pursuing business, with a majority of them being women of color, a lot of them being first generation. And we've gotten to partner with organizations like the Indiana Latino Institute, and so we've had several young Hispanic women come through as part of our internship, and we focus on mentoring, we focus on building our confidence and trust in ourselves, and as they step onto their next adventure, I like to make sure that they feel confident speaking to who they are, what they can do, and what they want to do next. I would love to continue growing more so that it continues reaching different people and different ways to serve and connect. I think as we grow, what a lonely existence it would be to grow and grow and grow and then be by yourself. There's this analogy, I heard it on a podcast, and the host was asking her guest, she said, how are you sending the elevator back down? And I love that, because as you grow, you should be thinking about how are you bringing people with you. We talk about building our own tables and having seats at tables saved for us, but what good is the table if there's no way to get there? And I think part of making opportunities reachable for everyone is that accessibility. And so as I've gotten to grow in my career in different leadership positions, especially getting my first leadership position at 24, I was so proud of that. I was like, I want to see more people do this, and I want more people to see people who look like them in these positions. And so it just made sense, especially with the internship program as it was growing, to make sure that that knowledge that you can do it and those pathways were available. I wish it sounded deeper, honestly, but I think the way that we get to connect person to person, there's something so special about feeling seen and being able to see other people for who they are and their journeys, their life, and the experiences they've lived. I love connecting with people.
Thanks for joining us for Business Equity and Opportunities this week. Hope you found something useful. You'll find all of our segments on our website, beoshow.com. Scan the QR code while we're doing this. It'll take you right there. If you have any suggestions about what you'd like to see us do, send us an email, beo@wishtv.com. Join us right here next week for more Business Equity and Opportunities. Until then, I'm Scott Sander. Have a great day.
Business, Equity, and Opportunities made possible by InnoPower, Bose McKinney & Evans, Gemco, Fifth Third Bank, and Indiana University, Indianapolis.